Hi, Peter Charles of Hook Fly Fishing, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Hero 5 camera, specifically how to deal with the audio problems that people have been complaining about. Now, the camera itself is not bad, but once you add this frame, it muffles the sound. I've had clicking problems and creaking problems from it, and if you go to YouTube, you'll see lots of videos on how to fix this. We've got, drilling holes in the frame. We've got adding different kinds of frames to this thing, putting on external mics and all sorts of other gizmos. I'm going to give you another alternative, and it's a better alternative. If you ever check out my video, Swinging a Fly in Little Creek, which was done 5 years ago on a couple of Hero 2s, you will see the technique in practice. It's not about using the Hero 5 audio or trying to correct it. It's about replacing it. So let's see how that works when I put it into practice.
Okay, I'm out this morning doing a rod review on this IMX Pro Streamer rod, and instead of trying to use the audio from the Hero 2, I'm going to be using this Zoom H1 to collect the audio. I've got a lav on the brim of my hat, gives it some protection from the wind, and when I'm turning my head like this, I'm not going to get varying rates of audio. They're going to sound the same. And when I get back home, I'll replace the audio from the Hero 1 with the audio from this Zoom H1. And we'll have lovely clear audio. It's going to sound great, and it won't sound like I'm talking underwater. So I'm going to get out and get fishing, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm back at the office. I have downloaded the GoPro footage onto Final Cut Pro 10. And you have to understand one thing with GoPro footage. Because we're recording to SD cards that have a FAT32 file system, the largest file size we can save is 4 gigabytes. Now, when you're recording 4K video, you're going to be recording an awful lot more than 4 gigabytes. So what happens is GoPro breaks up your video segment into 4 gigabyte bits, and as you can see here on my timeline, I have 7 segments that I've got to stitch together. Now I can do that in Final Cut Pro 10. I can do that using MPEG Streamclip. I could do it in QuickTime Pro. There's a variety of softwares out there that will do it. So this really isn't how-to and how doing it in Final Cut Pro 10. It's rather more about the fact that you have to do it. So I'm just going to highlight these segments here, and I'm just going to turn them into a compound clip, give it a name. Okay, now that turns it into one clip. Now, I want to give you a sample of this lousy audio that we're dealing with right now.
Slip some line to the back. Anyway, you go.
That sounds pretty bad. So the wind noise is bad. You hear some clunking and bunking going on. The voice is muffled. It's really pathetic. So it's not usable if you want any kind of quality production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that audio with the footage, or the audio footage, from my Zoom H1. And what I'm going to do first is highlight this and detach the audio. Now what I'm doing is I'm separating the audio from the video. Then I'm going to go up to my video recording from the Zoom, and I'm going to attach that to the timeline here. So that is the audio from the Hero 5, and this is the audio from the H1, Zoom H1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to synchronize these two. And when I was out there, I clapped my hands together 3 times to create a synchronization point. If you've ever seen the clapper boards in old movies, that's what they were doing. They were synchronizing the movie, the video, with the sound. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to expand this so I can see it very easily. Okay, I've zoomed out, and you can see these are my 3 claps. There's 3 here and 3 here. As you can see, they're not aligned, so I'm just going to put the playhead on that one right there, and I'm just going to grab this and drag it over Let's see if we can do this very carefully. There we go. Now that is aligned. Our sound is now synchronized. Now I'm going to delete this track here. And now I'm going to turn these into a compound clip. Okay, now we've replaced the Hero 5 audio track with the Zoom H1 audio track. Let's listen to the difference.
Even the small fish are powerful in these currents. They know how to use the current to their advantage. This guy's not that big. I thought he's bigger at first, but still I'll take him. Even the small fish are powerful in these currents. They know how to use the current to their advantage. This guy's not that big. I thought he's bigger at first, but still I'll take him.
I mean, what a difference. I mean, this is nice and clear. If I'm moving my head, the audio levels don't change. I mean, I've taken the wind out of the game. The wind was coming from behind me, and because the lav was under the brim of my hat, the wind is no longer an issue. I mean, this is so superior to what we had before.
So as you can see, all I did was replace the audio from the Hero 5 with the audio produced by this Zoom H1. And the quality was so good. I mean, you might think it was voiceover done in the studio if it wasn't for the click of the reel. Now, if you're going to go out and buy one, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You just have to make sure it has one of these 3.5 millimeter jacks to accept the microphone, and you're good to go. Just stick it in a pocket, and start the record going on your Hero 5 and on your pocket recorder, and then synchronize them later in software. The only thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is that when you're stopping and starting your Hero 5, you have to stop and start the recorder as well. That's it. Other than that, it's easy, and the good thing is it keeps both your hands free. You're not trying to hold on to something like I am when I've got my chest mount on, this in a pocket, and my hands are free to use my fishing rods. So give it a try. It works, and it is a great way to clean up the audio.